Well guys, I got the Sandrail over here rolled out for a bath. Supposed to be getting some thunderstorms. Been doing a little bit more work on it. Trying to figure out some of the stuff going on with it. Went ahead and got the engine pulled out of it. This thing was sitting in there with one bolt. So I think somebody threw that in there and hooked up one bolt for a quick sale and said it ran last year. Yeah, I'm doubting that. I did pressure wash it, try to clean it up a little bit, figure out what all's going on. Needing to replace these front beams on it. You can see this one's all rusted out. From what I hear, it's a pretty common problem with them. Look at that, see right through it. So went and picked me up another one. The guy said it had about a finger size hole in it, and that's a big finger there. But anyway, figure something out with it. At least this one's got brakes and everything on it. The one on the Sandrail now doesn't have any brakes. Gearbox is real sloppy. Doesn't have the stabilizer link. Looks like this one's bent, but make something work on it. Extra gearbox. It's got a little bit of slop in it, but I don't know. I think looks like you can adjust these. This little screw here. I wonder if I can back that out. Got a flathead there. Wonder if that'll move the gears in there to tighten it up a little bit. That's what I'm hoping. Oh, what's that? Old lady's here. So, and what do I got going on here? Picked me up another engine and tranny. This is from a 74 Super Beetle, the 1600 dual port. Guess I'll have an extra transmission. I'm gonna use that 3-rib that's on it now. Start doing a little bit of work on this, trying to figure everything out. Now the reason I pulled this engine, it was seized up. Got it broke free. Oh, I can't move with one hand. Got it broke free a little bit, but it's got a real tough spot in there, and just trying to turn it and heard a think kind of noise. So I figure, yeah, I probably don't want to mess with it. I think air cooled would be a little bit better. Let me see that shirt, woman. Working on VWs, but Chevy trucks. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got her that shirt. So I think I can pull the exhaust off of this and use some of the parts on it, and I don't know, do something with it. Yanked it out with the old chain hoist here and a tie down. Lower that a little bit. Well, I guess it was plugged in, but that thing's handy there. I started working on this one. Not familiar with them, trying to figure this stuff out. Hooked me up a gas can over here to the fuel pump. I didn't have any spark or anything. I got to talking to some buddies at work and told me how to rig up a switch here. That's what I've got. Got me a battery. I got a switch. I was cranking it and I wasn't getting any spark. And it's got a right here a fuel cutoff solenoid, which wasn't hooked up, and you got to have power to that to get fuel into the carburetor. Then when you turn the vehicle off, it shuts the fuel off and turns it off. Electric choke, so I got the wire from the electric choke and the fuel cutoff ran to the positive on the coil here, and then I got me a wire so to bypass ignition and everything, ran me a wire over here to my switch. So when I hook this up, got one on the starter, hit my switch, you can hear that fuel cutoff solenoid open. So that's what's making sure I get fuel and works the electric choke. So that's why I didn't have any spark or anything. Bypassed the ignition, so now it's going straight to the coil when I flip that switch. Oh, excuse me. Cranked it a few times, and I didn't have any fuel coming up through my fuel line, so my fuel pump's bad. There's a little diaphragm in there. Got me a new one ordered. Gonna get new plugs, wires. Poured a little fuel into the carburetor and it started up for a minute. So got my fuel pump on the way, do some plugs and wires. Look at this thing, it's kind of a glare on there, but all original. Fan shroud, everything. It's supposed to have 46,000 miles on it. The guy I got it from said he parked it outside, went on vacation, and some kids busted all the windows out of it. And he just let it sit, rotted away, and now it's in my hands. So I guess I'll go ahead and pour a little bit of fuel into the carburetor, try to get it started up for a minute, if that, and just show you guys it's running and everything, and wait and get my fuel pump tomorrow and try to get her purring on her own will. So here we go. Alright, I'll squirt a little bit of fuel into the carburetor here. Try to nurse it with a bottle a little bit. Get my trusty screwdriver to jump the solenoid on the starter. I'll turn this switch on, but you don't want to leave that on or you'll burn up your coil. Kind of pointless to have my fuel can hooked up there since my fuel pump's bad, but go ahead and turn this on, jump the solenoid, and try to get her run for a little bit. Delicious. Well, get my fuel pump tomorrow. Try to get a video of it running nice and cherry, but she's gonna run, so there's a little bit of what I got going on and what I'm fixing to do. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling off this exhaust, try to switch it over to my other exhaust. Oh, turn my switch off before I burn up my coil. So probably pull all this plate off here, pull these off. This is for the heater channels, and the heat off of the engine actually blows through these and goes through a heater channel here on the inside of the vehicle to give you your heat. So it's gonna be a fun one. Pretty foreign to me, never messed with one of these, so it's gonna be a learning experience. So if anybody's familiar with them and got some tips or tricks, give me a holler and get this stripped down a little bit, get it in the Sandrail, hopefully make some cool videos. So a little bit of what's going on, what's a bunch of crap. Thanks for watching, guys.